off, and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. And he missed the complete. He's crazy.
As I said, Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Good evening, race fans. I'm Adam Young. Rockingham Speedway and the Premier Racing League welcome you to the American 150. We look forward to 148 laps of V8 pick-em-up truck racing action here tonight. Joining me tonight in the booth is the Lumberjack, Sean Ambrose, and the man behind the curtain running the show in for Amjad Yaman here for tonight is Mr. Joe Peak. He'll be using cameras provided by Dougie Beard. Now, 2 races left. That's it. 2 drivers still have a realistic shot at the overall championship. Oh, and we've got a fall championship to be decided here for tonight. Of course, all that depends on the size of the field. It's about who has a relative shot and who doesn't. The points difference between the 2 drivers and the main championship, though, is 3 point standings, though, coming up. But I want to pull in my co-commentator through most of the season, Sean Ambrose. Sean, the last 4 races were on 4 totally different tracks here for this season. We've hit up Talladega, where Tyler Dalton finally got that win. You've been bragging on him, telling everybody he was going to get. Scott Eckridge made his first visit to Victory Lane and is only his 4th start in the season. And now today, Rockingham, a legend in NASCAR racing. Tell us about this facility.
First, I want everybody to stand to attention, look toward the north, and pour one out for the Rock, because they're not racing here anymore on the Cup circuit or the truck circuit or any circuit for that matter, but it lives here in infamy on the iRacing service. So it's a 1-mile track with about 22 to 25 degrees of banking in the turns. Yeah, it doesn't look quite like any other track you've looked at when you look at oval tracks. It's kind of weird, and it's a bit of a driver's track. Welcome to Richmond County, North Carolina, and Rockingham Speedway. Yes, we're here at the Rock. You know, it opened back in 1965, and they reconfigured it extensively back in 1969, just 4 years later, to a high bank D-shaped oval that you see today. And, well, it's gone under some ownership changes over the years and to its eventual demise. And, man, it was a shame when it left the Cup circuit. It is missed, but these drivers here tonight have their work cut out for them in the final race of the fall segment. To get an idea what it's really like to get around the Rock, let's hop on board the GSRC Camping World truck for a trip around the Rock. There we go.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek. This is the GSRC Silverado at Iowa Speedway. Fun little 3/4 mile short track right in the heart of America. So down the front stretch for your hot lap, you're going to try to find the bottom right here. Let it float down. There's going to be a big bump right there in the middle of the corner. Let it drive straight off. Not to get back into the gas too quick, or the rear will try to meet the front of the truck. Down into turn 3 here. Find the yellow line a little bit, about half a lane off. Don't get back into the gas too quick, or the rear will try to jump around again, just as what happened to me. Iowa is going to allow guys to run all over the place. So you're going to see guys maybe take a little higher entry into this corner, maybe run that seam, maybe get off the corner a little straighter. There's a whole lot of options here, but in turns 3 and 4, the best line is going to be right up here next to that wall. Let it roll in, kind of diamond the middle of the corner, get back into the gas on exit, not too hard, and then on a turn 4, down the front stretch. And that's going to complete our track guide at Iowa Speedway. I'm Brian Yazek, and this was the Chevy Silverado.
The Rock. That's what we all know and love her by. And now, of course, as Sean mentioned, she's pretty much only used for testing nowadays, except when the Premier Racing League comes to town, and we'll go ahead and let these guys go at it out there at Rockingham. Now, here for today, though, of course, we are running the 30th of 31 rounds for the season. I brought up Talladega a couple weeks ago. Then we were at Martinsville. Now we're at Rockingham. That fourth completely different track is Atlanta, coming up next week. But the fall segment is decided here tonight at Rockingham, and we got 148 laps to get that figured out. There is no fast repair here in this series, and yes, there are cautions, and this is a track where you can expect to have a few cautions here for tonight. Is multi-lane racing, but sometimes comes to a close real quick when you hit the exit of 2, as you saw there on the ride along. All right, so with that, halfway, we'll see the drivers get bonus points for being in the top 10, and they'll need them because what Sean's getting ready to show us is just how close both of these points battles are.
Boy, indeed. So, final race of the fall session, and Jeff Ward in control of that right now. 8 points to the good. Only 8 points separate him and James Grahula. James running tonight, ready to get this one out of the way, and they are separated on the timesheet right now in practice by 0.2 of a second. Brian Yazik with an outside chance to strike here in third. Tyler Dalton, mathematically, I'm not quite sure. I think he may still be in this thing if something would happen to the 3 drivers in front of him. This is the rest of the field as it stands, though. Wilco, Gal, Herring, Derek Paulson, Devin Cannon, and Justin Rodden, all with a chance to kind of switch those up just a bit. Maybe Gal gets ahead of Wilco. Maybe Herring gets past Gal. Maybe Paulson gets into this thing. We'll see, but none of these spots actually secure yet here. And we will have an update for you at the conclusion of this race and crown our fall champion. Now let's look at the season standings. A little bit tighter there up at the top. Yazik leads Grahula by only 3 points. Tyler Dalton, 63 points back. Jeff Ford, who's done an amazing job of coming back up through the field here. He's had a lot of wins. And there he sits in fourth. Jeff Gow in fifth. Travis McQuistion, Rick Thompson, John Wilco, Tim Johnston, and Don Runkle, Snoop Doggy Don Runkle. And I don't see him here tonight. That may hurt his chances to maybe get one more up the ladder here. Not being here tonight, that will hurt. So, but that is your top 10 of the season standings. And again, there's a couple of really good battles there we should keep an eye on as we head into Atlanta next week.
Yeah, and of course, I think Atlanta next week is just going to be a tremendous battle. And I really hope that everybody out there, tunes in for the Atlanta battle, because it is probably going to be one of the craziest championships you see all season long on any of the GSRC broadcasts. This is that time of year where we're really starting to really wrap them up. So, but we'll take a look here. We'll see. It doesn't look like anybody is actually on track. I think we'll see if Kevin Filarski here, if he's getting ready to start his lap, or I think he might be going ahead and coming in. So he is done. So I think we can go ahead and call qualifying here and give the NP3 Designs Pole Award tonight to Jeff Ward. Jeff, who has had himself a great season out there. We'll go ahead and ride along with him on his pole lap. And Jeff, of course, leading those fall standings here, but he's only got 8 points above James Grahula, as you saw a minute ago. So he's got to run tough here tonight. He's going to do that starting right at the front of the field. And by the way, and Sean knows this, we've talked about it a lot. The reason why Jeff Ward is fourth in the standings in the main championship is because he's missed a few races. If it hadn't been for that, with as much Jeff Ward's ran up front this season, he'd be right there in the thick of it as well. Yeah. But Sean, Jeff just very, very fast around here for today, isn't he?
He is. He only took one lap in qualifying, and the only thing that separates him in qualifying between him and Tyler Dalton is 2/100ths of a second. And you see this fast lap Jeff Ford put in, like I said, it was only one, using a lot of the track to get that speed up. And that was a great NP3 Designs pole award there for Jeff Ford. We congratulate him. A little more hardware for the case for Jeff Ford.
Now, Sean says 2/100ths of a second, but I prefer to think of it as blackjack thousandths. 21 thousandths of a second. I think that sounds cooler. Hey, I just made that up off the top of my head. All right, so these guys have just a couple of minutes left here before we take the grid and everything else. Sean, I've got to ask you from the woodshed. We haven't done it in a while, but who are you liking here for tonight? I mean, Rockingham's a tough track, and it really can come out and bite you. So who's going to be strong? Who's going to be consistent here tonight?
You know, I almost feel an obligation not to pick somebody tonight. This track is tough enough. Well, I mean, this track is absolutely tough enough without me having to put any added pressure of saying, hey, I've picked you to win this race, and, well, good luck avoiding my curse. So,
well, you got to think that they have to listen to you for that to happen.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I think Tyler Dalton is still a man on a mission here this season to really prove his worth, and picking up that win at Talladega I think went a long way for his confidence. Look for him to be strong this evening here on this track. I believe Tyler is actually from North Carolina. This could be a bit of a home track for him. I certainly look to him to be strong. He was not far off the pace of Jeff Ward here in practice, and certainly not in qualifying. And he could be one of those guys that puts that car at the top of the podium by the time we get finished tonight. We'll see. I honestly look for Yazik to be in this thing to the very end. He is always really good on these drivers, what we like to call drivers tracks. Awful talented driver. It could be him tonight. We'll see.
Well, with that, we have the Fort Bragg Honor Guard here tonight to present the nation's colors in the playing of the national anthem. All right, so there we go. We are ready to rock and roll here for the race at Rockingham. We'll have that grid for you here in just a second. Just wait for the qualifying session to officially come for an end, and we get the American Pool Supply Truck Series running here for tonight. It is going to be a rough and tumble race at the Rock, as they pretty much all are at this track. It will reach out and bite you if you are not careful. So, let's go ahead and take a look at that grid, and you will find Jeff Ward on the pole, like I said, blackjack thousands over Tyler Dalton here for tonight. John?
Row 2 going to be James Grahula and Jeff Gow.
Hey, Billy Tungate. Got to always give a big thanks to Billy there for his support of the series. He's going to be starting inside of row 3. Alongside him, big player of the championship, Brian Yazik.
All right, and then row 4 going to be Mr. Derek Paulson and Jeff Ryan.
In row 5, you'll find Travis McQuestion and Adam Littell.
All right, and then we go back to let's see. I'm sorry. Row 6 is going to be John Rodden and Justin Rodden.
Kevin Filarski and Devin Cannon are going to make up row 7.
All right. And then the 8th and final row, John Wilco and Stephen Herring.
Okay, so there we are, ready to go. Field's all set. Just waiting for all the trucks to come out and get the grid rolling here. With the track being just a touch over a mile in length, there will be only one lap behind that Mustang pace car here for tonight. Pair of Chevys up on the front row. Now, Sean, what kind of action are you going to be expecting here at the start? Are you going to expect these guys to settle in and try to take it easy for the start of the race, or do you expect them to try to get every single position they can right out of the gate?
Boy, I expect it to be fast and loose to get things started, man. It's 110 degrees on track, partly cloudy. Only 80 degrees outside. That shouldn't be so bad, but it will take a little bit to get some heat in these tires. Going to be kind of a greasy track here early. I think you'll see them jockeying for position just as quickly as they can and getting in line to run. Side-by-side racing here early could be disaster for a lot of these guys. So I expect to see them get in line here and run pretty quick. Now, remembering this is only a 1 mile track, gotta have to be aware of coming up on the traffic quickly should there be a good green flag run to get this thing started. But we're about ready to cut them loose here.
Yes, sir. So Mustang pace car getting ready to pull off. You see them rounding around turn 3. Pit entry could be fun if they do get to a point where they need green flag pit stops here for tonight. We'll see if that actually happens or not. PRL, Premier Racing League, American Pool Supply Truck Series, American 150, getting ready to get going. There goes the Mustang pace car. Everybody's on the loud pedal, and Jeff Ward's going to get a great jump on the rest of the field. He's going to lead him going down into turn 1. Tyler Dalton coming on the outside there. He's going to get a good run alongside James Kahula. He's going to go ahead and take P2, while James Kahula is going to have to settle into third. Go ahead, John.
Billy Tungate with all kinds of trouble. The 5 truck Derek Paulson dropping through the field there. He made contact.
Well, it seems like everybody is at least back to going straight here, although none the worse for wear out there, as Jeff Ward is setting the early pace out there at the top of this field. Tyler Dalton, as we mentioned, has settled in second. James Kahula third. Brian Yasick, though, in fourth. We can't forget about that championship fight, though, with Brian Yasick and James Kahula out there. Remember, Yasick and Kahula only separated by 3 points in the championship standings, and only separated by 5 points ultimately in the fall standings as well, although Jeff Ward's going for the win there. If you're just joining us and missed those point standings earlier on, right now, that battle between the two only separated them by about 0.2 of a second. As we go back in the field, one guy that's trying to make a little bit of a move is actually Jeff Ryan back in 11th position. He dropped a few spots, but trying to get a little bit of momentum back there, as he actually ended up with some right front damage. We'll have to see if he got into the wall at some point. It looks like maybe, still not finding where he got in the wall there, but he did drop back a few spots, trying to get those back now here in the early going. Once again, 148 laps here for today, and then that will decide your fall championship for the 2017 season.
All right, and Jeff Ryan having to worry about Calvin Filarski right now as Derek Paulson starts to get away from him just a bit. It was Paulson who had a little trouble early. He seems to have gathered things back up. You know, one of the trucks in the back of the field that was really struggling was Justin Rodden. He got his truck up into the wall, and then John Rodden had some trouble as well. John was up in the wall, spent some time there. A couple of trucks struggling at the back here early, but everybody seems to have settled in to race pace here, and it's pretty much a line of stern all the way around the field right now.
Yeah, nobody making any really super aggressive moves here at this stage of the race, as we are starting lap 7 here at Rockingham, and once again 148 laps here for today. But Jeff Ward definitely showing he has the early pace. Oh, somebody was in the wall hard back there. White and black truck. Did you catch who that was?
Yeah, it was Justin Rodden. Yeah, Justin had trouble coming out of turn 2. And the push was real, man. It just drove it straight up into the concrete.
Well, Sean, I don't know about you, but my experience racing at Rockingham is that turn 2 is pretty much going to be the trouble spot in just about any car. And I could have sworn I just saw some smoke out of the back of Justin Rodden's truck when I was going through cars here a second ago, so we're going to have to watch out for him some more. But up front, looks like Brian Yazik is got James Grahula chased down a little bit now, right underneath his rear spoiler.
He certainly has. He's looking to make a move on him here. Not going to do it in the entry of 3. Could get him off of 4, though. There he goes. There he goes. He's presenting that fender down on the inside of Grahula. Hadn't quite come along. He is almost there in 1. There we go. Yazik begins the early stages to try to pull his pass off. Grahula with a decent run off the top of 2. Keeps the momentum. Just a little bit of space between him and Yazik.
Oh, Yazik running a white truck here tonight. Usually you find him in that blue HPP machine, but tonight going with the white look, and so far it seems to be working out for him. However, while he has, our director Joe Peak mentions it might be the away team colors.
Yes.
Good idea. But while these two are going at it, got to pay attention to Jeff Gow behind him. He actually closed up a little bit there here the last little bit. Got to see if he's going to be able to make anything of this.
You know, I like what Tyler Dalton's doing up here in second right now. He is he's hanging with Jeff Ward, not letting him go anywhere, keeping him right at about 1 second. Their laps only split by about a tenth, maybe a little bit less than that.
Ooh, we almost had our first caution about a lap and a half ago. John Wilco lost it off of turn 2. But had that truck sitting at a pretty decent angle to the field, and that Fitbit machine is not going to be bringing out the first caution, though, at least this time around. But he lost a lot of ground, and already within sight of the leader, Jeff Ward. I believe our director, Joe Peak, found it here on the GSRC replay. We'll see if we're able to see it. Coming out of turn 2, running a little bit high, grazes that wall, and it shoots him off down into the inside. That he's able to get that thing straightened out just in time before it brought out a caution, and we remain green flag racing here right now.
Adam, he did an amazing job of hanging onto that truck there. That could have been sure disaster, and he prevents that. But boy, he's got to worry about Ward on his basically Ward now on the straightaway just behind him. It won't be long.
No, especially now that he has a little bit of damage too. So if there's one guy out there right now that really wants a caution, that is going to be John Wilco. You remember it was just a few short weeks ago that that John Wilco was able to surprise us with that great finish. I'm trying to remember where it was. I've slept a little bit, maybe not as much as I should have, but I've slept a little bit since then. But I do remember talking to John Wilco after that race just a few weeks ago, and he was so excited about where he was able to finish. And although unfortunately here tonight not going as well as it should, as he is going to go a lap down right now to your leader. We're riding on board right now. We were riding on board with James Grahula, going over to Jeff Ward, and see that he has opened up that gap between him and Tyler Dalton now by about 1.2 seconds.
And McQuistion just got by Billy Tungate. We missed that pass. But he finally gets by Tungate there and gets himself up to 6th place. McQuistion up 3 spots.
Well, that's one of our bigger movers here so far. We only started here for tonight with 16 trucks out there, but there's one thing that the Premier Racing League has showed us here, especially the last couple of weeks, is that smaller fields doesn't necessarily mean bad racing. And as I say that, we have the first yellow of the night.
Boy, and I think it might have involved a little bit of netco with John Rodden. I think initially he got around by himself, but we're going to see here on the replay as the truck came by. I think it was Herring that comes by him here, just narrowly avoids hitting him.
Yeah, look, he got way loose there off of 2, and ultimately almost did a good job of actually saving that truck, as it was every which direction but Sunday there, and a little bit bent up now though for that green and yellow number 26 pickup. Stephen Herring here is going to give you a bird's eye view, and you'll see him just fly right by Almost a big incident right there, but he should be able to at least get down pit road, get some of that truck fixed, and get back out there.
What a fortunate turn of events here for basically everybody. Just about to hit the 20 lap mark here, and they get a caution flag. I don't think anybody's going to mind this at all. Expect to see everybody come down pit road here.
Yeah, especially at Rockingham, you need to. The only, granted, he has to stay out, but he should also get the lucky dog. You saw him go by there on the outside. That would be John Wilco. But the guys get ready to hit their box. We're watching the field come down. Here comes Jeff Ward in that Loud Pedal Motorsports machine. He's going to have the #1 pit stall, courtesy of being the pole winner here for tonight. MP3 Designs Pole Award going to Jeff Ward earlier on this evening. Here it comes sliding into the box. Good stop. Tyler Dalton overshoots his box just a little bit. He has to back up. His right sides aren't even up yet. There they go. So James Kahula should easily be able to take that spot away from him here. Wait for them to come off. Right sides are down. Jeff Ward's away. Here comes Yazik. Yazik's going to take second place. Kahula in third. And Jeff Gow's going to be in fourth, followed by Travis McQuiston and Tyler Dalton. That little mistake is going to cost him at least 3 or 4 spots right there. So,
oh yeah.
With that, we're going to go ahead and we'll round out the running order here in just a minute and see where everybody stands. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Rockingham. Starting in the front row on this restart, you're going to have Jeff Ward and Brian Yazik, Krahula and Jeff Gow behind them. And then back behind them, you'll find Travis McQuiston and then Tyler Dalton. Big mistake on pit road, hurting Tyler Dalton that much to set him back 5 spots from where he was. That was only a split second that it took him to back that truck up and get into his stall. But Jeff Ward's going to pay no attention to that. We'll see if he's able to get a good restart. Brian Yazik's going to be looking to try to put some distance between him and Krahula. And if he can do that by getting around Jeff Ward, all the much better. But all that's going to be sorted out right now. Mustang pace car pulls off. Jeff Ward on the gas pedal. He gets about as good of a jump as he did last time. And another guy that got a great jump, James Krahula. He might finally be able to get out there. Right past Brian Yazik. He is going to take second spot. In fact, Yazik, a little bit of trouble there coming out of 2. He's going to fall back into the clutches of Jeff Gow. While that's happening, Jeff Ward already running away with it after lap 1. There we go. That was a pretty good restart, but already you're seeing most of the field start to get themselves sorted out. In fact, you got to go back to Adam Patel and then Derek Paulson before you find your first side-by-side battle. Right now, they're fighting pretty much tooth and nail here for 7th and 8th.
Platel really coming through the field quick here. Devin Cannon also trying to do it here just behind them in the 38. It's all the way down near that apron. Almost was it. Oh! Calvin Filarski gets a piece of Billy Tungate. Tungate goes around. The caution's out.
I got to ask if you if you spin one of the series sponsors, you dock like 3 points, right? He's immediately on the radio. He does apologize to Billy, and away they go. You know, they'll get back to going here before a little bit. But that Mad Dog Motorsports machine had a taste of pointing the other direction for at least a brief moment. So you're going to get a bird's eye view here from Kevin Filarski running on board, and you'll see the contact happen in front of him. They're coming out of 4, and well, there you go. So these guys. Yes, I don't think anybody's going to hit pit road here for this time there, Sean, but, you know, Rockingham, one point that we want to make, I think, is that, you know, they're not going to hit the pit road here for this time. There's only a handful of laps of green, although they're going to prove me wrong. Here comes Jeff Ward. Is he actually going to come down and pit? Okay, no. He kept trying to psych me out right there till the very end. But Tyler Dalton's going to stay out. He's going to take Travis McQuistion's going to stay out as well here. So we're going to see if how this works. This could be a little bit of maybe a testing it out for maybe toward the end of the race, huh?
Very well could be. It's interesting here. Tyler Dalton made that mistake and feels like track position that important here early. He decides to stay out, and I think McQuistion and Rodden just playing a little bit of monkey see, monkey do. Rodden had been off pace in this race very early. He's got some damage he's working with. Hopefully that won't be a problem when these guys that have all taken a pit stop behind him come barreling through here on this next restart. But Tyler Dalton certainly a good candidate to restart this race from the point. Let's see how much of a difference those 5-lap old tires will make compared to everybody else coming through with brand new ones. Now I do see it looking through the pits here. Jeff Ward only taking 2 tires on that stop, and so did let's see, was that Jeff Ryan? Jeff Ryan only took 2 tires also.
Now, I will say, though, that, you know, after the start of the race and our restart a moment ago, it definitely seems whoever is up there in P1 where Tyler Dalton is now definitely seems to have a pretty significant advantage here on the restarts. So we'll see if he's able to get as good of a jump as what Jeff Ward was getting and able to get away from Travis McQuistion and let Travis kind of have to deal with the hornet's nest back there before it gets to him, and maybe they all burn out their tires. And if things become equal for Tyler Dalton, he can make up for that mistake he made a little while ago. So they're back out there right now, and but I definitely think you're right. The X factor here is probably going to be Justin Rodden. Big strategy play here on Justin's part.
Well, here we go, getting ready to crank this thing back up again. Watch out for James Grula on the inside to restart this race.
Yeah, right alongside Brian Yazik. So this is going to be a pretty big mix-up here. I think this is probably going to have a really exciting restart. We're going to find out in just a second. There goes the Mustang pace car. Takes that hard left down pit road. Tyler Dalton is on the throttle. He is going to get a pretty good jump away from Travis McQuistion, and he's going to take over first possession. Not even going to have to worry about anybody running alongside him. Going into one, Travis is running that middle lane, and you can see just how much Jeff Ward's getting held up right there by it.
Wow.
As he's actually going to slide up in front of Jeff Ward. We got trouble in the back. Saw a car there get sideways. Who did that involve?
Devin Cannon, unfortunately. Cannon, boy, and Paulson's going to be involved in that, so is John Wilco. I think it all started with a Devin Cannon spin, though, you'll see here on the replay.
Yeah, Derek Paulson got tagged there and didn't even see it coming because it all happened behind him.
Yeah, Devin started to lose it, overcorrected a little bit, and he's going to go up and tag Paulson. I think that was Jeff Gow that snuck through there in a 92. Or maybe it was that was Calvin Filarski in the 28, I think it was, that made it through there. Let's see if we can get a shot.
Ooh, and one thing I noticed, too, is right at the end of that, as we're going to go on board here, John Rodden and Stephen Herring, in the process of missing that, got some pretty heavy contact into the wall themselves. So, but Kevin Filarski, that was a big piece of driving right there by Kevin Filarski.
Wow. Kind of a situation where caution's breeding cautions there. so far here. We go around, nobody else going for the pit here.
Yeah, unfortunately, John Wilco is going to have to come down pit road as the front end of that Toyota Tundra did get smashed back up again in all that, so he had just gotten back on the lead lap too. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take just a quick break here, and then we'll come back and catch the next restart. All right, so Tyler Dalton, this time I think he is electing to go ahead and restart on the top side. He's going to see how that line goes here. Travis McQuestion will be on the bottom here in second position, and then Jeff Ward was able to get around and Justin Rodden right before that yellow came out. So there's your front row. We're waiting for Tyler Dalton to get on the pedal. There he goes. He is away. He's going to get a good jump here. But also Travis McQuestion and Justin Rodden both get good jumps. And we'll have to see how that's going to mix out here. Now into one. Travis McQuestion already falling back into those clutches back there. Oh, Justin Rodden's in the wall hard.
Oh boy, big
Jumps
stack
up on the
there.
wall on two wheels. I think we're going to stay caution free here. Everybody's going to be able to get around him, but you can still see that black truck up against the wall. There he is going through 3 and 4 now. Back up front though, Jeff Ward is trying to make a play here on Travis. He is underneath. Travis is trying to run that high line, just not able to hold it down there and make any time. Jeff Ward is freed and cleared, and now try to chase down Tyler Dalton. They all get right down to that yellow line through 3 and 4. Nobody's running the Harry Gant line through there yet. Maybe they will later on in the race. We'll have to see. But Tyler Dalton has himself a pretty good lead. It's going to take Jeff Ward just a few laps to get up to him.
Adam Patel trying to pass Jeff Ryan on the top side, having to be real careful doing it. Calvin Flarsky up in the wall. Devin Cannon getting up under him. Brian Yazek caught in the middle of this hornet's nest.
And championship implications there if anything were indeed to happen. Obviously, we hope it does not. One thing I can say as far as stuff happening is John Wilco, unfortunately, still on pit road after that last accident. So, John Wilco fans, that's a problem. Billy Tungate, I believe, was just in the wall again. No, it was a car in front of him. Kevin Flarsky finding himself in the wall once again out there here, too, is that truck's looking a little bit beat up now.
Oh, boy. Devin Cannon is on the
loose
spin.
on the front stretch, through the grass.
That's going to get the caution.
Truck right in front of Justin Rodden there. That was close.
Wow. Cannon just loses it all by himself here and tries to correct, and it overcorrects, and he goes for a wild spin through the grass down here on the bottom. The truck backed itself up on the grass. He was just along for the ride here.
Now, I had to think that this time around we'll see Tyler Dalton come down pit road and hope maybe everybody else start to come with him, because I think maybe we just probably had about 5 total there between the two last 2 restarts, and the trend would be there. But Tyler Dalton, I don't think he's going to be able to hold his own against Jeff Ward there on another restart. We'll see what happens right here. Everybody comes down pit road. And it looks like everybody's going to be coming down again. This time, though, the question's going to be 4 tires, 2 tires? What do you do here, Sean?
Boy, that's a good question. The cautions are coming out. I think you might be able to get away with 2. You might want to gamble here and take 2. obviously position very, very important here right now with everybody spinning all over the place at the back of the field.
Yeah, cautions are definitely breeding cautions here tonight as everybody gets down there, gets into pit road cleanly this time. Right sides are up, and it looks like, at least for the front of the field, left sides are up, so everybody's taking 4 tires. Tyler Dalton's in the way. Tyler Dalton's going to beat Jeff Ward off pit road. Jeff Ward second, James Kahula in third. Travis McQuestion getting out there in 4th spot as they all make their positions off pit road. They're all going to catch back up. John Wilco back on the track. He is 7 laps down though, and but at least he is back out there and running for you John Wilco fans. And of course tonight here we got 16 trucks. We definitely don't want to lose John Wilco being a great competitor and everything else. So, righty.
Adam, I can
Yes,
safely report everybody took 4 tires there.
And I don't blame them. That is for sure. This track is known for eating up tires, which is what I was going to bring up to you a little while ago before everybody surprised me and actually did come down pit road. I thought maybe they'd hold off a little bit, but nope. 5 laps is enough to want to go ahead and come down and get all 4. I think the interesting thing there is that you saw Jeff Ward, though. He took 2 tires the last time he came down. And if you notice, Sean, yeah, well, of course you noticed. You just brought it up. Nobody followed him on that strategy.
Yeah, no, and it didn't. I wouldn't say that strategy failed for him. He made it work, but it's Jeff Ward. I don't know if that's going to be a sound strategy tonight. We'll see. Honestly, if these guys can get back into that racing mode like we saw to start the race, we could be here on a run that takes us to the halfway point. So, the tire is essential for this pit stop. I think that's why everybody went with 4. Is you never really know when a green flag run is coming, but boy, if there was ever going to be one to happen, it kind of get the feeling that it's right here after a string of cautions. Everybody might be a little bit more serious about getting back to racing for a while here.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you slightly, Sean. I think that as the lights are off in the pace car, we're going to be going green here this time but one thing we've seen, though, is if you're able to take 2 tires and a string of cautions maybe toward the end of the race, we've seen how much an advantage the leader on the restart has here at Rockingham, it seems like, so far tonight. So if you know you're going to be able to get out there in that P1 spot, it's going to be only like a lap or 2 shootout, I definitely think I'd take 2 tires. That's me.
From the lead, yes, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out.
Well, we got a long way to go before we start talking about end-of-race strategies. Still got about 106 or so laps to go here. Mustang pace car getting ready to peel off and get the green flag back out there. Tyler Dalton and Jeff Ward on the front row of this restart. Behind them, you will find the likes of James Kahula and Travis McQuestion. Pace car is off. Tyler Dalton's going to get a good jump. Not as good of a jump as he did earlier, but man, I tell you what, that second row, inside second row, is another good place to be as James Kahula gets another good jump as well. He's going to be fighting Jeff Ward here for second position going down the backstretch. So far, everybody threw that cleanly. Jeff Ward, though, is able to finally break away just a little bit. Oh, Travis McQuestion cuts it hard left. He's going to take an inside look here on James Kahula going into 1 and 2. He's not able to make it stick. He's going to lose a little bit of ground. He might just, no, he's coming back here on the inside as they go back down the backstretch. Second backstretch battle in a row for James Kahula. You've got to think, James and Brian Yowzer both have to think championship, with only 3 points separating them in the overall championship here for this season. Jeff Ward, of course, going for that fall championship out there here today. Travis McQuestion, though, is not letting that go. He doesn't care about the championship with these guys. He wants to go out there and get that race win and try to put himself in position to do it.
Yeah, McQuestion back here, we're up here causing a little bit of trouble for these guys. It's on the edge right now as we just got restarted. And, back a little bit further through the field, this little pack here with Billy Tungate, Devin Cannon, and Adam Patel, these 3 are pretty serious right now about this run. They took about a good lap and a half to get things sorted out. Look at Cannon go all the way up the track there. That truck really, really pushing bad.
Well, the last time we saw him start to run that line, he ended up getting go from a push loose type of situation, ended up losing it on the front stretch. So we'll see if he's able to hang on to it here this time. Go ahead.
Yeah, Cannon had trouble off of 2, and its truck stopped right in front of Justin Rodden. Rodden did everything he could to keep from hitting him. Rodden already with enough damage of his own to deal with, and just avoids hitting Cannon there.
Derek getting on the radio, letting Jeff know, go ahead and get on the low side of him here. He's going to let him go on by, deciding it is not worth trying to fight that out here at this point of the race. But up front, Jeff, Jeff Gow, Brian Yazik, though, not exactly where he wants to be, but one guy that is where he wants to be, that's Tyler Dalton, who has almost a half-second lead over top of Jeff Ward. And that lead, well, that actually gap seems to kind of be stable there between 0.4 of a second and a full half second. So Tyler Dalton holding his own out there so far.
Yes, he is. Tyler having a lot of fun here. We asked him about Rockingham. Had a bit of a spark in his voice when we brought it up. Tyler looking pretty good here early. We're going to be talking about the halfway point here in just a little bit. Definitely be good to pick up the bonus points here at the top. Keep Jeff in the mirror. That's the best plan right now. Look at this battle on screen, though. Krahula. They're holding off McQuistion and Yazik. How long can he keep this up? Jeff Gow hanging out just there behind him.
Well, we do only have about 22 laps until halfway here tonight, so that'll be here before we know it. The lap times here tonight, they're clicking off laps right there on your screen in about the 23 to 24 second range, so laps are definitely clicking off as long as we can stay green. But these guys, the way they're going at it right now, you can see that they're racing pretty hard, so we'll see if we're able to stay green here for the rest of the time. But here you are right, though. We are getting at least a little bit of a green flag run here, Sean.
I had a feeling, you hit that string of caution flags like that. Don't want to jinx anything here, but we are off on a bit of a run. This could be the one that takes us to the halfway point. I think at this point, you keep it on the track, you keep that position. You see what it's meant to Tyler Dalton. He has not been threatened by Ward much, but he's starting to be threatened now. Ward seems to be back on his game here, and he's starting to put a little bit of pressure on Tyler Dalton up here at the front.
Well, that gap, that gap between James Krahula and Travis McQuistion now down to less than 0.2 of a second. Actually, kind of almost been maintaining as these pack of cars continue to stay out there. But you're right there, Sean. That gap between Tyler Dalton and Jeff Ward, it has closed down just a little bit. Now down to just a little bit under 0.3 of a second. That last lap is looks like Yazik's going to go ahead and try to make a play here on McQuistion. Yazik on the inside in that white and blue machine with the yellow numbers there, that number 55 HPP machine. He is going to go ahead and taking that spot, move Brian Yazik up into 4th position now behind James Krahula.
Everybody having to get around John Wilco right now. He's doing a good job of staying out of the line. He's got to maintain his line there up there, though.
Yeah, right now that battle for the lead really heating up. Jeff Ward right on Tyler Dalton's rear spoiler, almost right to that rear bumper. But he's able to pull just a little bit away going down the backstretch. I think that Tyler Dalton right now, he has a pretty good, pretty good line coming out of 2. And that might be a saving grace, but as I say that, Jeff Ward has a better line coming off 4, is able to use that momentum down the front stretch. He's going to pull alongside him. Is he able to do anything with it? Tyler Dalton doesn't like running that high line, and Jeff Ward's going to be able to carry that momentum, move Jeff Ward up into the lead, but it's not solidly his just yet. There it goes. Tyler Dalton slides in behind him. He's going to come back down there, or coming down the back straightaway, or the front straightaway, rather.
Yeah, Tyler
still there.
Tyler got his preferred line back, but can he do anything with it? I think what we're finding out here is Ward is fast in either line right now. Tyler, he took the pressure very, very well Ward, though, just seems to be, I don't know, he seems to be hitting that that other zone that he gets into, and he finally dispatches Dalton. Now he's back off on a run. We'll see. Maybe Dalton can get it back here before we get to the halfway point, but man, we're really close now.
We are only now about 14 laps away from halfway. Remember, the top 10 gets that bonus points, and for Jeff Ward, that obviously helps him out in the fall championship, and Yazik and Krahula are obviously looking for that for the overall championship. If we'll show you this point standings again here from before the race if we get another caution here before too long, and just kind of help set the stage for that if you happen to be joining us here late here for this evening. That battle for the lead has kind of calmed down a little bit as we go back now to Krahula and Yazik only separated by a couple of tenths of a second. It's like once they got the question out of the way there, Brian Yazik seems like he's got something for James Krahula right now.
Well, we still have 15 trucks on this track running strong. Unfortunately, John Rodden still sits down in the pit lane, trying to get that truck serviced and hopefully back on the track here before it's all said and done with. Devin Cannon here at the back of the field, under threat from Stephen Herring. These two, little battle going on. This is a battle for 13th.
Yeah, Devin's had himself a little bit of trouble here tonight, but so has Justin Rodden. So trying to recover from that and make themselves at least have a decent race here as we round things out. But will be something to keep an eye on here, even though every single point, especially in this small field here for tonight, is going to matter. But not short on battles. Keep mentioning small field. We're not short on battles. That is one thing that is for sure here, and especially with the points battles that are going on out there as well. Because, well, hey, every little spot counts once again. But another guy that's out there, there goes Stephen Herring. He's going to take a good look here on the inside. Is he able to get any kind of momentum? Devin Cannon kind of gets a little bit loose there on the top side. Is able to catch it and actually able to get a little bit of momentum. But Stephen Herring's going to get a little tight going through one. Devin Cannon's going to be able to cut down in front of him. Yeah, that might have been his one good chance there. He might have to get things settled back down before he tries again.
Adam Blattel got by Jeff Ryan, and then Jeff Ryan got some push up into the wall. It also allowed Billy Tungate to get by. Ryan struggling back there in 11th. Adam Blattel moving back up through the field here finally. This is the longest run we've had. Imagine that tires really starting to be an issue for a lot of these guys. A lot of wheel input going on.
Yeah, here comes Yazik. Ryan Yazik taking a good look alongside James Krahula, going down the backstretch, going through 3 and 4. He is there. They get really close together there on the exit of 4. Able to keep it off each other, but Yazik not able to do anything with it that time by. He's going to have to slip back behind James Krahula. Okay, keep on going with him, though. Here is riding now on board James Krahula in that Coastal Safety Auditor's machine. This is just a great camera look out there on that rear support bar that comes out the back window of these trucks, and it's always been one of my favorite camera angles, and I'm glad Dougie Beard's been able to duplicate that for us. As Brian Yazik's going to take another look, but now remember that these guys, they're friends. They are friends, but they are going for a championship here, and you've got halfway coming up here now very, very quickly in only a couple of laps, and the battle between these two, it's only 5 points with Krahula in front of Yazik in the fall standings for second, and in the season standings, Yazik is ahead of Krahula by 3 points, so even this halfway bonus here coming up in just a minute could swing either direction in the points for these two, so they need it. Oh, and don't forget, you've got the likes back there right now of Travis McQuestion that is caught back up to these two, looking to kind of help spoil their battle a little bit. We're on lap 71 now. Halfway is going to be lap 74. We'll be here in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and McQuestion got right up under the bumper of Brian Yazik, almost lifted his wheels up and thought better of it, got out of it there as they approached the turn. So McQuestion, everything fine with his Toyota right now.
Yeah, it seems like the deeper we go into the run, the more McQuestion's truck tries to start to come alive for him. It starts to fit his driving style a little bit more, and it also helps the fact that the two trucks in front of him are starting to battle pretty close. But here we go. We're on lap 73 now. We're going to be coming to halfway here this time by. Who is going to get it? Is it going who's going to get third place? Excuse me, fourth place. Yeah, no, third place. I was right the first time in all of this. Is it going to be Krahula or is it going to be Yazik? Krahula has it right now. Yazik is not going to be able to get there. Jeff Ward is going to lead at halfway. He's going to get the halfway award here for today. Tyler Dalton in second. James Krahula is going to get those important third place points for the overall championship. Yazik is going to get the fourth place points. McQuestion fifth. Remember, the top 10 does get points with that with the halfway award, brought to you by American Pool Supply.
All right, so congratulations to Jeff Ward, Tyler Dalton, James Krahula, Brian Yazik, McQuestion, the top 5 there. They'll all enjoy those bonus points. And Justin Rodden back in the field calling for pit stop. McQuestion looking to make a move here on Yazik.
Yazik took that thing wide, almost like he just didn't want to have to fight him.
Well, he got his halfway points. Now he can cruise just a little bit here. Rodden in the pit.
And Justin's had himself his fair share of trouble here for tonight. So coming down, deciding that he's going to want to head, most likely deciding that he just wants to get some new tires on the machine. I don't think this is going to start off a sequence of green flag pit stops for the rest of the field, though.
Well, they can certainly keep running on fuel here. Adam, they're fine.
It's the tires.
Yeah, it's all about the tires. I mean, as far as Jeff Ward's concerned, he doesn't need a pit. He's still cruising around this track, still turning 24 low 24 second laps. It's only about a second difference from where he started, so.
And if you're curious, we went back to green on lap 43. So there's, with that, as Sean just mentioned, the drop off for Jeff Ward has at least been about a second. Now that battle between Krahula, McQuestion, and Yazik continues to heat up. Krahula is, you can see him running just a slightly different line to McQuestion. McQuestion, no, he's won third here. McQuestion's looking a little bit hungry, isn't he, Sean?
He really is, man. He's pressing right now, and I like it. But if you're Krahula or Yazik, you've got to be a little concerned about that. And here he goes down on the bottom. He's going to try and pull this off.
Well, there it is. You might be able to get him here going through 1 and 2. Question on the inside gets a little bit closer, and I think anybody right there in that particular position is comfortable with. Hits the yellow line just a little bit, slides back up between the two of them, and now almost thinks about trying to get back to the inside, going through 3 and 4, but he does have a good run. You can see that gap just close up right there between them. And he might be able to get back alongside him here going down the front straight. And we've got a wreck going down the back straightaway right now. Is it going to bring out a caution? It's between Billy Tungate and Justin Rodden. Green stays out as everything happened off the racetrack. But there's 2 beat-up trucks now.
It just looked like Rodden got a run at him here. Maybe too much of a run, and just really gets into him. Sends Billy careening off the track down into the inside wall there. They both follow each other down there. Poor Billy Tungate, he gets heavy damage on his Chevy. They're both able to wheel it back to the pit here.
Both hoping for a caution there, but no cautions coming out as Jeff Ward continues to turn laps out there. As you see, that's Tyler Dalton getting around the John Wilco machines. My apologies there. And but that battle now, Travis McQuestion, while all that was going on, was able to get past and get clear of James Krahula. So we're going to move Travis McQuestion up into third place as that truck just continues to come alive for him here. Back behind him, though, we still have the battle between Krahula and Yazik, which Yazik now trying to get a little bit of a run on Krahula did. Now, Sean, do you think Krahula might have burned up his tires trying to hold off McQuestion?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe just a little bit. McQuestion, obviously, he was riding back there behind them for quite a while. So I think McQuestion definitely better on the tires. Obviously, he's been able to put a little distance between him. James probably struggling with this truck a little bit more right now, but James is a wheel man. He's hanging on to it just enough to keep himself here in a top 5 position. Yazik doesn't want to make a big mistake. These two still have a lot of racing to do here, and a lot at stake. Obviously, we can't talk about it enough.
Well, Justin Rodden has decided to go ahead and call it a night out there. That truck is done here for the rest of the evening. So, Justin Rodden fans, just so you're aware of his situation. So, that battle, though, the battle on the racetrack continues to be Krahula and Yazik. Only about 0.15 of a second separate them out there. And that 4 machine of James Krahula gets a little bit tight there, going through 1 and 2. And that's going to allow Yazik to really close that gap between them. Krahula is not going to be able to hold it down there right at the yellow line, but looking at Yazik, he's able to get it down just a touch lower as those tires are really starting to show their age. And Yazik's going to get a good run on Krahula here, going through 1 and 2. He's going to be able to have the inside line, but is Krahula going to be able to hold him off with the momentum on the outside? That answer would be no. We're going to move Brian Yazik up into 4th position.
Another battle on track that's pretty good is Filarski and Blatel. These two have been hooked up for a while, have been good bunkmates here for about a half a dozen laps. And both on the same pit strategy right now, just both approaching almost 50 laps on these tires. Kind of taking care of each other right now. It's Filarski sitting in 8th, Blatel in 9th. Blatel has not shown to be very aggressive here with Calvin. These two just looking to get to the pit stop together here unless they get a caution. Every passing lap, though, I'm beginning to think that caution's just not coming unless, of course, one of these drivers makes a mistake on these old tires. That is entirely possible.
And as you say that, Jeff Ryan in 10th position really got loose out there and almost brought out the caution going down the front straightaway, but he was able to grab that truck and hang on. But you can see, well, here we get the replay, and it might not look as good as what I described it, but you can tell, I know for a fact from driving on this track, that truck was almost about ready to come around on me. See, coming here through 3 and 4, you're going to watch him drift up high, coming out of 4, riding on board with him, and just watch him start sawing on that wheel and have to try to bring that truck back, and is able to chase it and get back control of it. So no caution. Jeff Ryan able to continue on out there, still turning laps, but now a lap down is Jeff Ward has lapped all the way up to 9th position. In his next target, though, that's going to be something to keep an eye on, is going to be that Adam Blatel and Kevin Filarski battle, with Adam Blatel actually getting a good look on the inside there of Kevin Filarski, but not able to do anything with it. But you can see right there in the frame, you've got Jeff Ward steaming up behind him, getting ready to try to get involved in a battle for 8th and 9th.
Yeah, and it's not that Ward's done anything different, any great strategy has allowed him to catch these guys. It's just been pure pace. They've all got 50 plus lap tires on their trucks, and Ward's just coming through like he just got out of a pit stop practically here. Here he comes. Hopefully he can get through this battle clean.
It's always the danger zone whenever the leader comes up on a battle, especially a battle that is inside the top 10. And that's what Jeff Ward is coming up on now. But Adam Blatel is going to, well, we'll see if he's going to let him by here, but he knows he's there. Is Jeff Ward actually, I think, backs off a little bit. No, Jeff Ward's deciding discretion's a better part of valor. Now is a great time to hit pit road. Your leader coming down pit road. We'll have to see if anybody else is going to start following him.
Here they
Tyler
come.
Dalton's coming down. Here comes Travis McQuestion. get ready for a round of pit stops here is not only, hey, one thing we've been kind of neglecting is just how close McQuestion was getting to Tyler Dalton there. McQuestion, that truck really did come alive out there. He's going to be somebody to watch here as we go the rest of the way.
And Krahula peels in. Yazik stays out on track with Jeff Gow.
Yeah, this is strategery going on out there right now with trying to get a bonus point. And Jeff Gow staying out there in second. Adam Littell, move him up into third. Waiting for the leaders to pull back off of pit road here.
Ward's away.
There goes Ward. Next up should be Tyler Dalton. Right sides are down.
Dalton's
he is away. Jeff Gow has announced that he's going to be coming down pit road.
McQuestion's away. Krahula's away.
We'll see what everybody cycles out here in just a moment. Jeff Gow coming in from second position.
Wow, Tyler Dalton does not pick up any ground at all in the pit stop. Just a little bit quicker, but still just doesn't pick up anything on Ward at all.
Yazik continuing to turn laps here. Now, every lap he turns now, he's going to be losing ground. He's hoping for a yellow. That's got to be the strategy here, I would think.
Oh, you would think. Yeah, Jeff Gow coming down pit road now. I see that. He's already in his box, actually. Yazik continue to gamble here. He's going to keep her going.
Well, you know, once it's at that point, he's laid his cards on the table. He's kind of got to live with it at this point, and we'll see if that ends up biting him. But right now, Brian Yazik is the only truck on the lead lap, and by a large margin. He's got a little ways going back to Jeff Ward, so he's got some time. But Yazik's going to give up the ghost. He's going to go ahead and come down pit road right here. You see how challenging that is of a pit road entry coming in under green, and he does get it woed up just in time. We'll see how much time that ended up costing him here in just a second. It is a long trip down at 40 miles an hour.
Jeff Ward out of 2 on the backstretch. Here he comes. Heading into 3, dropping it down on the apron in the center of the turn. Now he's coming out of 4 on to the front stretch here.
Yeah, and Brian Yazik's right sides are just now up. So that's all that time. Here comes Krahula coming out of turn 4, coming down the front straightaway. Yazik is away. He's going to be losing second here at James Krahula as he passes him by while he's just now trying to get up to speed on the back straightaway. So that is a lot of time lost there, but he tried to stretch it as far as he could. But now the field is cycled through. You move Jeff Ward up in the first position, Tyler Dalton in second, Travis McQuestion in third spot. Travis McQuestion actually lost a little bit of time there. He came out pit road right behind Tyler Dalton, but he's more than 3 seconds behind him now.
Well, that's it. It's all over. It stays green. You're stuck with what you've got here. You're not going to want to pit, unless you want to give up that position on the track.
Well, we'll see. Travis McQuestion's truck really came alive at the tail end of that run, and we still do have 46 laps to go here, which was in Travis's range as far as that truck really kind of starting to get going again for him. But I think the bigger story is going to be the championship implications between Krahula and Yazik is ultimately staying out there that extra couple laps with those tires ended up costing Brian Yazik about 3 seconds over Krahula. And we'll see if he's able to make any of that up, but he's still in a position though where he's going to be hoping for a caution, Sean.
Well, you know what? Yazik was the fastest truck on track the last time by. All they can hope to do is just continue this pace. Hope to just get a little bit at a time. 43 laps to go. 44 on screen. Honestly, that's still a long way to go. Anything can happen. A caution flag changes the look of this whole race. So we'll see here. Yazik he's doing the right thing right now. Keep burning down big laps.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that gap and see if it is, in fact, able to close down. He has closed down already about 0.4 of a second, so you are right. I mean, he is definitely one of the faster trucks out there. There's just a couple lap fresher tires, but if you think about that, should start to even out here before too long. So take advantage of it while you can and get what you can. So good call on that, Sean. But right now, Jeff Ward is definitely the class of the field. He is running away from it with now over a 4-second lead over Tyler Dalton, and going back behind him. Actually, might as well go ahead and take advantage of the situation, do a quick run through the field. So let's talk a little bit about Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward having himself a good run here for tonight. He hasn't won the Truck Series race since Iowa, going back to the beginning of October, and that itself kind of broke a little bit of a streak there. Remember, at one point during the season, he won 3 straight at one point, and at one other point in the season, he run 4 straight. So Jeff Ward is definitely he's definitely if he ran all the races this season, he'd be probably running away with the championship. But nope, no, he's going to be sitting there in 4th position, I believe, in the overall standings. Going back behind him, Tyler Dalton. Now, I've got to say congratulations to Tyler Dalton. A couple of weeks ago at a race that I had to miss, I happened to go down to Austin, Texas to catch one of the days of Formula One down there, and I got to miss the call of what Sean has been waiting for all season long, with Tyler Dalton winning a race. So congratulations, buddy, on grabbing that win there at Talladega, and what a thrilling finish that Talladega race was. I was able to catch the broadcast of that. Good thing I did. Now, going back into 3rd position, you'll find Travis McQuestion. We're waiting for Travis's truck to really start to get going there. It took a little bit into the run, and it might be one of those situations where he might actually run out of time, but we'll see if Travis McQuestion is able to do something. But he is up 6 spots from where he started here for today. 4th position, you'll find James Krahula. Now, James is down a spot technically from where he started, but he's had himself a good day overall. Now, he's been involved in some racing action out there, and it hasn't been exactly as clean as what he wants to do, but that'll be something to watch out for, as he is only 3 points behind going into the race, behind a guy immediately behind him. And that's Brian Yazik. We've been talking about the gap now between Yazik. Yazik is just burning up that truck. He is getting everything he can out of it right now, and that gap has closed down to just about a second between him and Krahula. We're going to be having to come back to this battle here before too long, I guarantee you. So we'll move on to Jeff Gow. Jeff right now running in 6th position, and he is down 2 spots from where he started, but at the same time, he's had himself a pretty clean day out there at Rockingham, and he's just hoping to bring that truck home with the top 5 here for today. But he's going to need a little help to get up there and claim that 5th position. And behind him, you'll find Derek Paulson. Derek is probably a couple laps away from going a lap down, but he is running 7th. He's running the exact same position where he started this race here earlier on, and doing so quietly. It's another one of those guys we haven't talked much about here for today. So that's all your trucks on the lead lap. I tell you what, we should probably go ahead and go right to that battle there between Krahula and Yazik there, Sean.
Yeah, it's heating up, man. Just Yazik just swinging for the fences on every lap. He is still, I don't know, for probably the past 10, 11 laps, he's been the fastest truck on track. And he just takes another hunk out of it right here as they come across the line. Now it's down to 0.3 of a second. And it's not a matter of if, but when. He is just primed to pass Krahula. Now, Krahula's not just going to let him go by. He's just not going to pull back the curtain and say, yeah, come on by. It's going to be a bit of a battle. Yazik's going to try and battle him here.
He can't do that. I mean, not with this championship on the line. He can't just pull over and let him by.
No, we wouldn't want to see that happen. Now, you know what? Listen, Yazik's got a big task ahead of him here. This is going to be a dogfight. 30 laps to go across the line. We know right now that both of these trucks can make it to the end without any further pit stops. And you know what? As a fan, I don't want to see another caution flag. I want to see these guys try and make it to the end. The tire's already screaming at him. Both on a couple of, on a little bit varying strategy. Let's see. Yazik's tires are about 5 or 6 laps fresher than Krahula's. But I think they both reached a point right now where, as you referred to there earlier, Adam, they've kind of leveled out, pretty much playing on the same level field now. And Krahula's still able to keep him behind. It's a lot of pressure if you're Krahula, man. So all you can see is that HPP staring at you.
Well, and that's that's pretty much what Krahula has in his rearview mirror right now, because he is paying attention to him. In fact, there's Yazik. He's going to get a look here on the inside of him. Is he going to be able to do anything with it? He leaves him in a spot where he can't really drift up and really kind of get that momentum coming off, so he's going to have to pull back up and behind him. Hey, just real quick, John Wilco has officially called in tonight, and also want to let you know, Billy Tungate tried to get the damage repaired, but he's going to have to call it a night as well out there here in Rocky Camp. So right now, though, we turn our attention right back to that battle between Krahula and Yazik is kind of widened up a little bit. I'm thinking that Yazik is going to kind of ride back there here for a lap or two, maybe try to cool down those tires. This is one of those tracks where you really do have to kind of manage things like that, don't you, Sean? Yeah,
you really do, and it's a constant chore. This is a long race. We're on another long run here. You really, really got to be aware of that. And hey, somebody said this was Wreckfest 17 way back when. Tell you what, this thing is balanced out just fine after the early stages of this race here, Adam.
Yeah, they just got it all out of their system in a string of a couple of cautions. That's how it works out sometimes. But and I do want to point out, actually, hold on, will Yazik take another look, decide against it. We were talking earlier about that Tyler Dalton and Travis in question, but Travis was going to be able to get back up there. Travis was able to cut that gap down to about 2 seconds, but that kind of evened back out, and Tyler Dalton was able to pull back away just a little bit over him. But I'll still be keeping an eye on that too. But that battle on the racetrack right now between Krahula and Yazik is still the main one that we've got to watch out for. With all due respect to Jeff Ward, who is in all likelihood getting ready to win the fall championship here for tonight. But this one has season championship implications here. It was just this one battle on the racetrack can create a swing in those points as we head into Atlanta here next week.
Well, Jeff Ward definitely taking care of business right now. Tyler Dalton having a magnificent run, but he just got nothing for him, man. And that leaves us with six trucks on the lead lap because Ward just keeps putting them down one right after the other. This time by 21 laps to go now.
Yeah, we'll see if he has enough time to catch up to Jeff Gall and put him a lap down, but I don't know if he'll have enough time to necessarily do that, as we're coming down to 20 to go here. So, but there is, once again, Krahula and Yazik, as that gap is still just a little bit more than 1/10 of a second between the two, kind of widening up to about 2/10 of a second right there, but running nearly identical lap times right now. I really think that Yazik is just kind of cooling things down, just waiting for that right moment. But you do see the lap truck in front of them. That is
Adam Littell.
Adam Littell. He's going to go to the high side and let him go by. But still, even when we have a truck that lets you go by like that, it still slows you down just a touch.
Yeah. You're really protecting not only your line, but from anything bad happening here. Look, Yazik trying to make a move down on the bottom here. Out of turn 4 as they come across the line. He's got the position down there on the bottom.
Oh, Krahula is going to let that go, though. Fight back on the outside. Stephen Herring, I think, trying to make sure he didn't get mixed up in that battle, ended up putting into the wall right there, but that was close enough to give your third and fourth place, your fourth and fifth place runners here a little bit of a heart attack, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Right back on the inside, 1 and 2. We'll give it another try here, see if Jasek's able to do anything with that move. It's a drag race going down the back straightaway, but one that Krahula is actually going to win. He's able to get down, right back down to the bottom of the yellow line, but he's going to push up a little bit high. Looks like Jasek is able to get his truck just a little bit lower, able to keep that momentum going there on the exit of the corner. He's going to take another look here going through 1 and 2. We'll see who was going to win this drag race going down the back straightaway. Who's going to have the momentum? This time, Jasek starts a little bit out more ahead of Krahula. Krahula just a little bit faster with that momentum on the outside. But that battle continues to tighten up as they almost drift into each other, going through 3 and 4. They're able to keep it off, but that's going to kill Jasek's momentum, and he's just going to have to let the batteries recharge and try again here in a moment.
What an amazing battle these two are having. Really, really good stuff. Again, you know, Krahula's just not going to give him anything here. Jasek's going to have to figure this out all by himself. They're coming up on another truck here. They're going to catch Calvin Filarski. Just checking on the leader real quick. Just real quick. Well, he's still in the lead. Jeff Ward. Tyler Dalton is still chasing him. Now, here's the good news for Dalton. Hasn't changed much. He's still about 7.7 seconds behind. Ward does not appear to be getting away from him at this point. So one small mistake or a little bit of trouble in traffic there for Ward could open things up for Dalton. His pace is awesome right now. He's really having a great run today. Probably one of his better races of the season. He's just not been close enough to Jeff Ward to do anything about it. He led laps here today.
I've got to say that with as consistent as Tyler Dalton is, I mean, he's one of those guys you just always have to keep an eye out for, and he'll be a threat. I think he'll be a threat next week at Atlanta here. I think that 1.5 mile type track really tries to suit him a little bit too. As that battle between Krahula and Jasek did get broken up just a little bit by the lap truck of Kevin Filarski, and just looking at the times and everything else, Jasek his truck isn't handling as well as it was a little while ago.
Well, he had trouble clearing Filarski. It took a couple laps to get that done, and that cost him some time to James. And man, he's running out of laps, running out of opportunities here really quick. James still on the hammer, throwing down really, really strong laps. That was a 24.4. Jasek 5/1000ths of a second slower that time.
Okay. And bringing up a good point that that battle that we've talked about earlier with Filarski and Adam Littell, well, that finally is going to go ahead and get renewed here. Adam Littell is going to take a look at the inside of Kevin Filarski. Adam Littell, I think, has the better truck right now in that Amsoil machine, and able to edge out in front of him just a little bit going down the back straightaway. I don't think he has the momentum to completely be able to carry him through and complete the move. See who has a better run here off of turn 4. There goes Adam Littell. You can move Adam Littell up into 8th position there.
Well, and that explains why Filarski was fighting so hard there with Krahula and Jasek to hold on to that position. Littell was working on getting his way back through the field. You know, Littell has really been picking up positions since this race started, and he continues to do so, having a great run in 8th. That's 2 spots up from where he started tonight.
Well, and so here we are, 8 laps to go. Race continuing to wind down very quickly here. Jeff Ward's still well up in front. The one thing I've been watching to see if it would materialize was between Dalton and Travis McQuestion. Well, I can tell you that that gap has closed down to at times right about 2 seconds between the two, down from what it was about 3 seconds just a couple of laps ago. I think that battle might end up being a not enough time kind of thing. I think Travis McQuestion's going to run out of time to be able to catch him. And also going back now, the next battle back down, that's the battle between Krahula and Yazik. You've been following it a lot here, pretty much the majority of the last 50 laps of this race here, because, well, huge championship implications here. But that gap now, after them having trouble getting around Kevin Filarski, continues to widen. Brian Yazik, I think his tires are done, and he's just going to have to try to bring the thing home in with another top 5, and we'll have to see how the points shake out. But setting the stage there, Sean, for just a huge day when we come back 1 week in Atlanta.
Well, Yazik worked really hard to try and catch Krahula, tried to get around him. It looks like it indeed came at a price. The price was the rubber on that truck. The Goodyears are feeling that stress right now with 4 laps to go. And I think there's just not enough left at this point. But boy, what a magnificent drive by Yazik. A little bit of a gamble on a later pit stop. It showed some dividends there through most of this run, but here over the last 10 laps, it's really started to hurt him. And Krahula able to, right now, hold on to this 4th place. We've seen some really, really great driving today. Hats off to Tyler Dalton, who's just had a magnificent run. We keep talking about it. Ward's continuing to pull away again. So it looks like Dalton's probably used up as much of this truck as he could. But here we go, Adam. Just 2 laps left to go now.
Yeah, and I want to make a point real quick with Tyler Dalton and the great season that he's had. We can declare that Tyler Dalton will officially finish 3rd in the season point standings here for this year, for 2017. And we can also officially declare that Jeff Ward is going to finish 4th in the overall season standings for this year. But you know what? Before he does that, he's going to go ahead. He's going to round 3 and 4 here at Rockingham, and he's going to come away with 1 more win in the Truck Series for 2017. The checkered flag in the American 150 is going to go to Jeff Ward. We got to see if he's going to have a repeat performance in 1 week in Atlanta. Coming across the line next is going to be Tyler Dalton. Tyler Dalton's going to be coming home in 2nd position. Great job by Tyler Dalton. And then Travis McQuestion able to close that gap to within 2 seconds over Tyler Dalton. He ran out of time. James Kahula is going to come home in 4th. You move Yazik into 5th. And able to finish on the lead lap tonight is going to be Jeff Gow. So fantastic battle out there between a couple of guys. By the way, Adam Littell did finish over Kevin Filarski. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We'll run down the final standings here for tonight, talk to a couple of guys, and we'll see if we can get you to look at the point standings before we head to Atlanta. Jeff Ward with a dominating performance here tonight in the American Pool Supply Truck Series and the American 150 at Rockingham. He's going to come away with the win on the final leaderboard. Right behind him, by about 10 seconds or so, was Tyler Dalton. But Tyler Dalton had himself a great race and really held down second position most of the night with the exception of one mistake on pit road. But he was able to overcome that and be able to get back up there in the second position. Third place, Travis McQuestion, another guy that had a great run, a really great long run pace tonight out of Travis McQuestion. James Krahula and Brian Yazik finishing in fourth and fifth position. They are going to carry the championship fight right into Atlanta between those two guys. Jeff Gow's going to come home in sixth. Derek Paulson's going to bring home in seventh position. We had a great battle going on there with Adam Littell. In ninth position, another guy that had a battle tonight with Adam Littell, Kevin Filarski. He's going to come home in ninth. Jeff Ryan in 10th position.
Okay, let me take the rest of these guys. Stephen Herring with an 11th place finish tonight. Devin Cannon, 12th. 13th, going to go to John Wilco. Billy Tungate, 14th tonight. 15th, going to go to Justin Rodden. And he edges John Rodden, who takes the 16th spot tonight, Adam.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to get Jeff Ward. We'll let Sean talk to Jeff Ward here, a guy that, well, we've forgotten how many races Jeff has won this season. I just know it's been a lot, Sean.
Yeah, it certainly has. Jeff, welcome back to Victory Lane. It all started with a great pole lap. Only one lap there in qualifying. And track position, very important here tonight, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Sean, track position was important. Luckily, was able to get on and off pit road pretty good on those couple cautions we had, so we didn't get marred too far back in there. But those long green flag runs is really helped what we were trying to do tonight. I think we had a pretty good long run car, so definitely kind of played in our favor. Dalton was real good on the short run, so one of those cautions there, I had a little bit of trouble getting to his back bumper, but once we got some laps on the tires, was able to pull away there. So yeah, pumped up, man. It was a good win, and happy to be able to win the segment. I know we got fourth in points overall, but we'll take the segment win and the win here and keep digging at it.
Yeah, well, digging at it is all you've been really doing ever since you showed up and started running races. And boy, I don't know, Rockingham, such a tough track. It seemed like your truck was a lot better on the long run, and we got a couple of them there to end the race. It was kind of funny. After that last caution, I kind of speculated that maybe it was time to go on a green flag run, and then boom, it happened. Like you said, the getting on pit road. Talk about how tricky that is here on this track.
Yeah, it's real tricky because coming out of four there, right in the middle of 3 and 4, you drop down, and it's like a sudden drop off of the banking there. So when you get on those old slimy tires, it's tricky that you don't loop it, especially if you're running a lot of rear brake bias. The tail end will come right around on you if you ain't careful. So getting on there was tricky. Luckily was able to do it without doing anything stupid there. And I think Dalton had a pretty good stop too, because he actually come out, gained a second on me once we got back out on the track. But yeah, that's always tricky here. And I just tried to play with the throttle and try to use the right rear as much as I could, because this thing was real tight on entry, so I knew I didn't want to burn the right front up, and that seemed to be a pretty good game plan.
Well, buddy, it's time for the presentation of some hardware, virtual hardware, and for that we're going to bring James Krahula in and let him take care of these duties. James?
Absolutely, and Jeff Ward, I mean, you missed the spring segment. You came in the summer hot, did well there, and then now after the fall segment, you take the championship there. Just alone in the fall segment, you have 5 wins, 8 top 5s, and 9 top 10s. You beat out everyone else in the rest of the field by doing that. Just wanted to say congratulations on your fall segment championship. And then also, again, after missing all those races, to come up so high in this overall season standings. Still one more race to go. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, James. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's it was not just this series, but it's been a crazy year altogether. I doubt I can duplicate this years going forward. So I'm just trying to enjoy it while I can, and just want to say thanks to you for, keeping the league rolling. It's been a blast here all year.
Well, for all of our else's sake, we hope that you can't keep this rolling for too much longer. But Jeff, seriously, it's been so much fun racing with you, and very deserving of this fall championship.
Yep, thanks, man.
All right, Jeff, and thank you, buddy. We will catch you next week in Atlanta, sir. And you have a good week. In the meantime, go and celebrate a little bit, buddy.
All right, I'll do it. We'll see you there.
And that, of course, was Jeff Ward. Now, hey, James, since you're here already, we'll talk to you just real quick. Of course, coming home today, fourth, great battle there with Brian Yazik between fourth and fifth spot. But, man, you two are going to carry that championship fight right into Atlanta, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. I know Brian's not happy with me, and I drove him, had to drive him hard to hold on to it there. I mean, every point counts for everything, and so I know that I cut him off some more times, and mostly by accident there in the beginning. I didn't mean to be as aggressive as I did in the beginning, and that's why I try to give him as much racing room in the second half too. But I just need to try and make him burn up his stuff there on the bottom, and it's tight. It's a hard racetrack to get around, and now we got 1 point going into Atlanta. So I've been having so much fun racing with Brian this whole season. It's whatever the outcome is. It's been an absolute blast. I know he's not too happy with me tonight, but he's been great to race around for years now. He's one of my favorite people to race around, and of course, meeting him in person too. He's a real life friend, so he could be mad at me for one more week, and then hopefully we can make up after that.
Well, that has been a story that has always gone on in the annals of racing from day one, as far as friends going against each other. I'm sure you guys will be fine and setting up a great stage for a battle there. But we'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and get down Tyler Dalton here and talk to our second place finisher here for tonight. I think Sean's caught up with him.
Tyler, another great race, man. Boy, you had incredible pace all night. What is, in your opinion, the one thing that kept you from getting to Jeff Ward?
I really don't know. I felt like I drove about the best race I could have driven, so I'm happy with second. But, you're never really happy with second, but sometimes it's just hard to beat those aliens.
Yeah, maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's the only answer anybody can come up with, because I said the same thing, Tyler. I really thought that was your best race of the season. You had a great line. You had incredible pace all night. And in the end, it just wasn't enough. But, man, second place, that's nothing to go home crying about. Well, it was a really, really good race. You stayed out of trouble. You made that one small mistake in the pits, but you recovered from that. And you took a little bit of a gamble to do it, but it worked out for you.
Yeah, I overshot my pit on the first stop. I didn't do me any favors, but I was able to use some strategy to get back up there. And then once I did, I thought I had something for Jeff on the short run, and I tried to cross him over once he finally got to me, but by that time I just pissed off the tires too much. But like I said, I don't know what more I could have done in that race. I had some short run speed. I had a pretty good medium run speed. I think Travis had probably the better long run speed, but he gave up too much in the beginning. Like I said, that was just a really hard fought race. I wish maybe there had been a caution at the end. Maybe I had a shot at Ward then. But like I said, just a heck of a race. And if my math is right, I'm out of the championship. So going to Atlanta next week, I'm pretty sure we're locked in the third end point. So just going to go there and try to pick up the win.
Well, and you know what? Another win this season would be great for you, man. I really thought you had a solid chance tonight, and my God, if it wasn't for Jeff Ward, you would have done that, man. It was a good race. It's been fun watching you run this season. Would you call this a bit of a home track for you?
Yeah, sort of. I think Charlotte's more of my home track, but this would definitely be the second closest. Although Darlington's also pretty close. So those three are all pretty close. But yeah, I mean, I got to thank Kirkwood Transportation for being the sponsor of my truck. I thank my team at Unacceptable Racing. And they made these races so much fun just being around those guys.
Well, man, it's been fun watching you all season, and we'll see you next week, my friend.
See you there. Thanks.
All right, and our thanks to Tyler Dalton for his many visits here to the booth with us this season. Adam, I think we got one last person to talk to, and Travis McQuiston.
Yeah, before we get to Travis, I want to say that we've got a lot of people sticking around in the GSRC YouTube channel here for tonight. I think everybody's anxious to see what those point standings look like, but I can tell you one guy that's just going out there and he's giving it everything he's got. Now it's Travis McQuiston here for tonight, and Travis, man, it really seemed like you had a really good long run pace with this setup here for tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely. I didn't have much of the quick off the start speed. I was looking at the quick times, and my quick time was 0.3 off everybody else's. So I just ran it slow and steady, and just kept the tires on it, and I was able to do something with it.
And it seemed like, especially you were able to run down Tyler Dalton a few times and everything else. So that was good. It seemed like you really had that figured out. And the one thing that I did notice, though, is, and I'd like to get your perspective on it, is on the restarts, particularly when we had that kind of rash of yellows. It really seemed like if you were the pole sitter and the guy right behind him, you had a pretty big advantage in the restarts. And at least one restart, you were able to take advantage of that. Did that seem like the case from the driver's seat here for tonight?
Yeah, I feel like when the pace car pulls off, you have that little lag time, and you're able to kind of use it to your advantage here, more so because with that banking, if you're a second or fourth, it was kind of hard to see that first place car. So I think that's where they got most of their advantage.
Well, and now we're going to go into Atlanta, and you've pretty much, I believe, have, if my math is right, you pretty much have sixth place in the season standings locked down. Like it's yours, and so I mean, you're pretty much just going out there. You're going to try to do the best you can at Atlanta. Are you going to have anything for them on the 1.5 miles?
They're probably way better than I am. Atlanta at least is pretty abrasive, so you will go through some tires, and that's kind of what I use as my equalizer, is just try to keep the tires under it. So I'm going to try to give it my best shot. If there's some long runs, we'll see what we got.
All right, well, hey, Travis, good job coming home in third here for tonight, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, so Travis, a question, your third place runner here for this evening, and I believe we're going to go ahead and talk to you about points. I think that's what everybody's sticking around for. Let's go ahead and do the fall standings here real quick, so we can put kind of a final point on that. The fall standings here for this season, we can declare that Jeff Ward, the winner over James Krahula by 16 points. Brian Yazik, 23 points. Tyler Dalton, 30 points back in those fall segment standings here. So congratulations once again to Jeff Ward on doing a great job and coming home with that fall championship. Now, the one that we're going to be carrying on into Atlanta here, a 31 first round out of 31 rounds here this season, Brian Yazik up on James Krahula by 1 point. That's it. That's what we're fighting for in Atlanta. In the top 5, they're the only 2 spots that are going to be changing positions at that track, and they are separated by 1 point. That's going to pretty much mean that whoever's able to finish ahead of the other guy is going to come away with the 2017 American Pool Supply Truck Series. So you're going to want to check that out next week. We just talked to him also, Travis McQuiston. He's got 6th place locked down. Jeff Ward has 4th place locked down. Just kind of eyeballing it, depending on how many guys show up at Atlanta. Another couple spots that could change hands would be John Wilco and Rick Thompson, so we'll keep an eye on that. But also, depending on who shows up, but also Tim Johnson and Stephen Herring. So, Sean, those are going to be the storylines going into Atlanta. Anything else you're going to be keeping your eye on?
You know what? I'm gonna be keeping my eye on Tyler Dalton to get another win this season when we head there. I guess I'm almost coming off as kind of a fanboy for him these days, but I'll tell you what, it's hard to ignore the talent of that guy. And you know what? I think he got a little gypped this evening. I know I picked him. Would have loved to see him win, but man, Ward's just got something special going on there. I can't put my thumb on it. I'm going to go with the alien theory. Maybe we just start referring to him by a single name, and we'll just call him Alien going forward. I don't know, man, but Ward's been awful tough to conquer this season. Maybe next week at Atlanta. We'll see.
Well, that he has, and everything is going to be decided then 1 week from tonight in Atlanta, and that's time for us to end and wrap up the night. So special thanks to the Premier Racing League for putting on the American Pool Supply Truck Series. Also thanks to the software and hardware that we use for our broadcast. You can see there listed on your screen.
And also thanks to our musical contributors, Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, whose music you can find at the websites listed. For more information about future races, you can see the list on the screen, or you can go to our YouTube channel. We've got a wonderful archive there and races that are coming up. You can also go to our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. That's it, one word, globalsimracingchannel.com.
Yeah, we're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. Atlanta Motor Speedway is on tap next Sunday night, where we will crown our 2017 champion. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be James Krahula? Is it going to be Brian Yazek? All that we'll know about this time next Sunday night. The broadcast starts at about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Congrats again to Jeff Ward for coming away with the win tonight. For Dougie Beard, Joe Peak, and Sean Ambrose, I'm Adam Young. Race clean, race hard. We'll see you on the track.